They called it the King of Bombs. 3, 2, 1. A blast 3,000 times stronger than Hiroshima, enough to crack the sky itself.
The Arctic wind whispered across the desolate landscape, a silent symphony echoing across the vast emptiness. The sound was both haunting and mesmerizing, a reminder of nature's raw power and beauty. Snow and ice stretched as far as the eye could see, a pristine white canvas under a pale, indifferent sky. The landscape was untouched, a frozen expanse that seemed to go on forever, offering a sense of timelessness and isolation. It was the early 1960s, a time of tension and uncertainty, a world teetering on the brink of annihilation. The Cold War cast a long shadow, and the threat of nuclear conflict loomed large over every corner of the globe. Yet here in this remote corner of the world, nature remained untouched, oblivious to the man-made chaos brewing far away. The Arctic stood as a stark contrast to the turmoil, a sanctuary of silence and solitude. The silence was almost deafening, a stark contrast to the storm about to be unleashed. It was a calm that belied the ferocity of the elements, a deceptive tranquility that could turn deadly in an instant. The air was frigid, biting at any exposed skin with an unforgiving chill. Every breath was a struggle, the cold seeping into bones and making even the simplest tasks a monumental effort. It was a hostile environment, unforgiving and harsh, yet strangely beautiful in its starkness. The Arctic's beauty was in its simplicity, its raw, unadulterated form that had remained unchanged for millennia. The only signs of life were the occasional polar bear, a solitary figure against the blinding white, moving with a grace and power that belied the harshness of its environment. And the Soviet research stations scattered across the archipelago like outposts on an alien planet. These stations were a testament to human resilience and determination, standing against the odds in one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. They were manned by scientists and soldiers, living in a world of constant twilight, their every move dictated by the unforgiving Arctic climate. These brave souls faced the relentless cold and isolation, driven by a quest for knowledge and a sense of duty. On this day, the silence was shattered by an unexpected presence. A distant rumble, growing ever louder, heralded the arrival of a behemoth of human engineering. The air was thick with anticipation as the sound grew closer, a harbinger of something monumental. A Soviet Tu-95 bomber, its massive wings casting long shadows across the snow, emerged from the horizon. This colossal aircraft, known for its distinctive turboprop engines, was a marvel of its time. It was a formidable sight, a symbol of Soviet might, its sleek fuselage bristling with antennas and sensors, each component meticulously designed for a singular purpose: dominance. This was no ordinary mission. The stakes were higher, the risks greater. The crew knew they were part of something that could alter the course of history. This plane carried within its belly a device of unimaginable power, a weapon that could reshape the world in an instant. The bomb, carefully secured, was a testament to human ingenuity and destructive potential. The bomber circled slowly, its engines a deep guttural roar that echoed across the frozen wasteland. The sound was both a warning and a promise of the devastation it could unleash. On board, the crew went through their pre-flight checks, their faces grim and determined. Each movement was precise, every action deliberate, as they prepared for the task ahead. They were the tip of the spear, the instruments of a power far beyond their comprehension. The weight of their responsibility was immense, and they felt it with every breath. The fate of the world rested on their shoulders, and they knew it. Every decision, every maneuver carried the potential for global repercussions. The tension inside the cockpit was palpable, the air thick with anticipation and dread. Each crew member was acutely aware of the gravity of their mission, their minds racing with the possibilities of what lay ahead. At the Soviet test site, scientists and engineers huddled in bunkers, their eyes glued to monitors that flickered with data. The tension in the air was palpable, a mix of fear and anticipation. Each scientist knew the gravity of the situation, the potential consequences of their actions weighing heavily on their minds. The atmosphere was electric with nervous energy. Conversations were hushed, and every movement was deliberate, as if any sudden action could disrupt the delicate balance of the moment. Years of research, countless hours of labor, all culminated in this moment. The culmination of their work was not just a scientific achievement, but a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. The world held its breath. The countdown had begun. Each second that passed brought them closer to an uncertain future, a future that could change the course of history forever. Every tick of the clock seemed to reverberate through the bunker, each second stretching out into an eternity. The rhythmic ticking was a constant reminder of the impending detonation. The weight of the moment was immense, the silence broken only by the staccato bursts of Russian being spoken into headsets. Each command and response was crucial, a part of the intricate dance leading up to the final act. Outside, the Tu-95 bomber had reached its designated drop zone. The crew inside the plane was acutely aware of their role in this historic event. The bomb bay doors opened, revealing the monstrous payload nestled within. The sight was both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a mechanical beast ready to unleash its fury. It was painted a bright orange, a sinister parody of the sun it was about to unleash. This was no ordinary bomb. It was a harbinger of destruction, a symbol of the devastating power of human innovation. Then it happened. A blinding flash, brighter than 1,000 suns, illuminated the Arctic sky. For a brief moment, night turned into day. The snow-covered landscape bathed in an eerie, otherworldly light. It was a sight of terrifying beauty, the raw power of nature dwarfed by the destructive capability of mankind. The air pressure surged, sending out a shockwave that raced across the frozen tundra at supersonic speed. It flattened everything in its path, leaving behind a trail of devastation that stretched for miles. The ground trembled, as if shaken by the hand of a giant. The sound of the explosion was deafening, a thunderclap that reverberated across the Arctic and beyond, a testament to the terrible power unleashed. The mushroom cloud, a terrifying spectre of death and destruction, rose high into the atmosphere, its shadow stretching across the land like a malevolent entity. It climbed miles into the sky, a swirling vortex of fire and ash visible for hundreds of miles. Tsar Bomba, the king of bombs. It was a fitting name for a weapon of such unimaginable power. At 50 megatons, it was the most powerful nuclear device ever detonated, dwarfing the bombs that leveled Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Its blast radius was staggering, capable of obliterating entire cities in the blink of an eye. The world watched in horror and fascination as images of the test were released. The sheer power of the explosion was a stark reminder of the destructive capabilities that mankind now possessed. It was a wake-up call, a chilling demonstration of the fragility of human existence in the face of such awesome power. The Cold War had reached its zenith, a time when the world teetered on the brink of nuclear Armageddon. The Tsar Bomba test was a message, a stark warning from the Soviet Union to the West. It was a display of military might, a reminder that they possessed the capability to destroy their enemies and reshape the world in their image. The echo of that explosion still reverberates today, a chilling reminder of the destructive power we hold in our hands. It serves as a testament to the folly of war, the insanity of a world armed with weapons capable of ending civilization as we know it. The Tsar Bomba was a warning, a stark and unforgettable demonstration of the potential consequences of unchecked aggression. It was a wake-up call to a world on the brink, a plea for sanity and restraint in a time of unprecedented danger. Let us hope that we have learned from the mistakes of the past and that the world will never again witness the terrible power unleashed on that fateful day in the Arctic.
Tsar Bomba was never meant for war, but a warning to the world. The question remains, who will listen before the next countdown begins? Was it an immediate reaction or a good warning sign? If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more exciting content.